So this is the eWOD for Saturday, June the 11th. And I guess I said I wasn't gonna do it, but I wanted to do it because I figured it wasn't gonna take 25 minutes and I wanted to know like just how close to our typical Saturday are we gonna get. And it's okay to not go 25 minutes all the time. I understand that, but I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like 10. Took me 15, 13. For the DB floor presses, I used 35s where I would normally recommend 50s, and but I did use the 70-pound kettlebell, and we all know Russian kettlebell swings are the kind that we can bust out big sets. So what do I think is going to happen, and how should we modify this to get the intent? I'm a little concerned about the 200-meter run for some people. Let me just say right off the bat though, I know we just ran a 5K on Thursday, but I also know who comes to Saturday classes. And it's not the same population of people. So those of you who ran the 5K, and if you're planning to do the eWOD, you don't have to run. That's okay. You guys can row 250 meters instead if you want. Ride the bike for 500 meters. I'm okay with that. If you ran on Thursday. If you didn't run on Thursday, I want you outside, if at all possible. And I didn't even look at the weather. So if it's gonna rain, then you guys can all row and run, or row and bike if you want. I'm concerned about it regardless though, because it's the kind of workout where, the run is purposeful because you're gonna fail at the DB press, right? That's a movement like push-ups, right? And so we all get to a point in push-ups where we just can't do anymore. We gotta sit up and shake out the arms. And the idea is, since it's an eWOD, when instead you would be shaking out your arms anyway, let's just get up and go for a run. And I think that makes a lot of sense. The problem is if the run takes you 2 minutes, or the run or the row or the bike takes you 2 minutes, then you don't have any time to do those presses, right? Or you don't have any time to do those kettlebell swings. So what do we have to do? We have to, I still want you to run or row or bike, but I need you to do less. And I don't know if it's gonna come to that. Let's approach this workout as though it's not going to come to that. But if at some point it's like, well, I'm not even getting any time on the ground with this floor press, then you need to reduce the amount of distance. So maybe you're running 100 meters instead of 200 meters, or maybe, I don't know exactly what the distance would be, but you go like halfway between the 400-meter line and the 100-meter line. I want you to have 40 seconds of work, maybe, right? I think that's fair. Maybe 45 seconds, 40 to 45 seconds of work on the inside that's not running or rowing or biking. Keeping in mind, like the DB floor press also has its own little sort of logistics piece of how do I pick up the dumbbells, how do I get them into a comfortable position and go from there. So all these things have to be worked out basically before the WOD starts. How am I going to pick them up? How do I got to position them on the floor before the workout starts? I think, I've seen enough dumbbell floor presses. Certainly it was a thing we did a bunch over quarantine, and we programmed them a bunch since. So I think most people are at least exposed to this. That's basically the thing the whole time. That's the only challenge we run into. I think you should pick a weight on the dumbbell floor press that is going to allow you to get chunks. Like when you're ready to move them, you're getting 10 to 15 every time. That's how I broke them up. It was my pairs of 35s. I did 25 in the first round. After that, it was 15s, quick break, 10s. And I was able to piece together 25 reps before every run, getting done the dumbbell floor presses in 4 segments. I imagine that's quick for the gym, so don't expect to do that because I did. Think of it more as get it done in between 4 and 7 sets would be good, especially if we want to get like a nice long workout in. And the other thing to keep in mind is the runs and the rows or whatever it is has to be relatively consistent. And I know that's not going to be possible the entire time. I mean more to the point, the runs you're doing during the dumbbell presses should be consistent because you're not using legs for anything. And then they're going to be slower, those runs, when you do the kettlebell swings because that is a leg movement, and so you're kind of taxing the legs a little bit. But I want them to be consistent within the kettlebell swings. So all of the runs you do in the middle of doing kettlebell swings, while slower than the ones you did with the floor press, still should be consistent and still should allow you enough time to come back inside and have 40 seconds of work. That would be my ideal. And then we can get through this. I mentioned it's 15-13 for me, and I didn't go as heavy as I would have if I wasn't competing tomorrow. I would like to log in to be on the whiteboard late on a Saturday and find that it took some of you guys over 25 minutes. I mean, that is still my goal, so I don't want people thinking because it took me 15 minutes, it should take you that, and you need to modify to make sure that that happens. If anything, I'd like to do it again with the heavier weight and have it take a longer time. So that'd be my ideal. All right, hopefully that helps you guys. Enjoy.